Good evening. Welcome everyone to our electronic regional special council meeting on June 29th, 2022. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Regional Council is practicing physical distancing. I am in the council chambers with Councillor Galloway, and other members are participating electronically. The purpose of this meeting is to consider recommendations from the Planning and Works Committee on the regional official plan. I'll now ask Will Short, Regional Clerk, to call roll call.
Thank you, Chair. Chair Redman.
Present.
Councillor Clerk.
Present.
Councillor Rentz.
Present.
Councillor Jowett. Councillor Erb.
Present.
Councillor McGarry.
Present.
Councillor Armstrong.
Present.
Councillor Harris.
Present.
Councillor Strickland.
Here.
Councillor Foxton.
Present.
Councillor Galloway.
Present.
And we have regrets from Councillor Urbanovic, Councillor Nowak, and Councillor Kiefer, and Councillor Shantz, and Councillor Jaworski.
Thank you, colleagues. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest under the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act? Seeing none, I would like to start this meeting acknowledging that the land on which we gather virtually today is the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabeg, and the Neutral people. We acknowledge the enduring presence of the Indigenous people with whom we share this land today, their achievements, and their contributions to our community. And I do want to reflect on some of the comments that were made during the regional official plan, and I think to me it really underscored what I have always known, and that's that our Indigenous colleagues and friends recognize a shared responsibility for the stewardship of the land and the natural resources, and I'm honored to make this journey with them. I would now entertain a motion to go into the Committee of the Whole to consider reports. If I could have a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Foxton, seconded by Councillor McGarry. Please use your icons to vote yes or no. Thank you, colleagues. That is carried. We are considering reports. Planning and Work Summary is available from the meeting that we just had. If I could have a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Clark, seconded by Councillor McGarry. Please use your icons to vote. Oh. How about you vote one more time, because I don't think we had their icons down. That is carried, colleagues. I would now entertain a motion for the Committee of the Whole to rise and Council to resume. If I could have a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Erb, seconded by Councillor Strickland. Please use your icons to vote yes or no. That is carried. Now a motion to adopt the proceedings of the Committee of the Whole. A mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Lawrence, seconded by Councillor Armstrong. Please use your icons to vote. That is carried, colleagues. I have no other business. I would now entertain a mover and a seconder to enact the bylaws for second and third readings, and this is bylaw 22-036. And the bylaw is to confirm the actions of the Special Council of today's date, June 29th, 2022. If I could have a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Clark, seconded by Councillor McGarry. Please use your icons to vote. Thank you, colleagues. Before I entertain a motion to adjourn, I'm going to ask Councillor Galloway, who has done a great job in chairing this process, as well as Public Works, if he would like to make some comments.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. The raw process is certainly not complete. We still have a few miles to go yet. But I did want to take this opportunity, and when I say a few miles to go, there are lots of opportunities for further consultation and some possible or potential changes to some of the matters. But I do want to take this opportunity to really recognize a few different groups. First of all, I want to recognize the community, the development industry, the people from the community, the environmental groups, smart growth, et cetera, for all the time and effort that they put in so far. And again, there's still some time left and effort that still remains. But I particularly want to thank staff and the consulting team, but staff particularly for pulling this together. Yes, it's been expedited. The process has been a little bit bumpy, but at the end of the day, we do have a bit of a deadline that we have to hit. We're going to miss it by a bit, but I don't think we're going to be penalized by the province if we're somewhat late. But I do worry if we were to miss this particular deadline, that it would go to a new council, and then who knows what the province would do in that regard. So, but in the last month or so, we've heard from many people that said that staff have not just listened but heard. And we have seen the evidence of that in many respects. Now, there's still obviously disagreement on some matters, and I don't know. I've been through quite a number of ROP reviews, and I don't remember any that were completely agreed upon by all parties. Just the nature of the beast. But I think staff have done a Herculean job. In the last number of weeks. There's been just a ton of consultation with municipalities, particularly, still more to do, with developers, still more to do. But I really appreciate the effort that has been put forward by staff and the consulting team to get us to this particular point in time in this particular process. And again, still more to go. But I do want to acknowledge that at this time, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Galloway. I just would like to add a few words too and say that I know that regional staff have done nothing. They haven't taken days off. I think they've cut back on some of their sleep, and they've done nothing but try to move this process forward. And I also want to give a shout out to all area municipal staff as well, because this has been very much a consultation, which is why we've seen some of the changes we have. So really kudos to the area municipal administration, our municipal colleagues, as well as their planning staff, to make sure that they were articulating and we could focus on the things that mattered most to them. I'd have to tell you, I think this plan is one that supports sustainable growth. And I think it's demonstrated that not only can we listen, but we can have a Made in Waterloo region plan going forward. And I know it could not have been lost on anybody who was in the meeting today that there were many, many voices praising the middle ground and the balance that we have come to. And as Councillor Galloway said, we know that there's lots more consultation to do, but I think we're starting to get close to the right balance. I also just wanted to comment on a letter from the Six Nations complimenting regional staff, and they were led by Rod Regier, and it was really speaking to the authentic engagement that is reflected in the proposed regional official plan, and I was very impressed with that, and so want to give a shout out to Rod and all the staff that make sure that those consultations with First Nations are not performative, but are actually very authentic. So thank you for representing the region so well, regional staff. And now I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by Michael, seconded by moved by Councillor Harris, seconded by Councillor Rentz. Please use your icons to vote yes or no. That is carried, colleagues. Great work, and I know we will meet again. Have a great evening.